Hello my people, you are welcome to today's tutorial, and today I want to teach you guys how to put your artwork inside a frame. On mobile phone we cannot use PSD. We can export as PSD, we can import PSD, but we cannot edit PSD per se as far as 2023 April is concerned. Okay, so by next month we can see some apps that can do that actually, but there are ways we can choose to edit those mockups. There are ways you can choose to edit those PSTs. So what I will just ask you to do, you can go to your free pick, search for frames and all, or go to Facebook, search for frames, download it, and then once you have it, what you're just going to do is to open this app called Pixellab. Okay, don't bother about the ID before it. That's just the version I am using. You can download any version will do it. And now let's assume you have downloaded the frame you want. Now I'm going to import a frame, and then I'll show you something. So I'll come to my image and then I'll click on from gallery. Okay, now I'll go to my Remini. I downloaded some, just two, and then I'm going to erase the content on it. Okay, and then after erasing it, I'm going to use my own artwork on it. So for example, let me choose this. Okay, and then I'll just make sure I import it in full. Now after importing it, the next thing that will come to my mind is to come to this P, where P is written. If you are using another version, it may not be P, but don't worry, you understand. Okay, so I'll just click on it and then I'll create this shape. Okay, that's always the default shape, this square or rectangle or any how you want to put it. This can be triangle, this can be square, and at the same time it can be rectangle. Okay, so I'll mark it, and then I would go to my what's it called, this perspective. I'll click on perspective. Okay, yeah, so you see that the moment I click on perspective, it highlights some things, it puts some lines. This is just the shape. Okay, and now I click on perspective guide. You see it breaks it down. Yeah, so I will click on this zoom. Yeah, you can see it, and then I will click on it, and then I'll use my two hands to drag. Okay, so the moment I do it like this, I would click on this zoom button again. All right, you see the moment I clicked on it twice, it's flipped back to the original, the feed screen. Okay, so I'll just click on it once and then I'll leave it, and then I'll drag this. Okay, you see there are some things like undo there, so those are the things you're going to drag. I'll drag this also, those things that look like undo, and just make sure the whole also meet at the same angle as the original one that is there. Okay, you can see what I am doing. I don't know why it keeps on going back. Yeah, so I would drag this also and just make sure it's also on the same angle as the original picture imported. Yeah, so we still need to make some edits, but now you can see that the angles is now, the what we are moving, yeah, it's just still the angles, but you may not understand it as the angle because you are still looking at the shape as it has its own angle. But that square shape or rectangle shape that we just drawn, those are that angles that we have moved to the angles of the real picture. Okay, because we are trying to clear away the picture on it and then try to impute our whole. So even on free pick, if you see any frame that you like and then it is a premium and then don't want to subscribe to them, you can just screenshot it, enhance it if the quality is low, or you go to Pixel Pro and give it more enhanced, and then you import it to your Pixellab. You can even use Sketchbook. Okay, but I think it's more simpler and easier here. Okay, now the moment we do it like this, I'll click on this enabled. All right, you see the moment I click on enabled, it transforms that shape. Right, let me off it again. Can you see this? So it's on it the moment you click on this enabled. All right, and then I would advise you that you should do well to zoom. Okay, zoom it and then you check through the angles and let's see if things are going all right. Okay, okay, so the reason why I asked you to zoom is to know if you still need to make any other corrections on it. So the moment I'm done with it, I'll just click on this check mark and then you see what we have. So I'll click on the shape. You see it's still highlighting the actual shape that we drawn, but we have transformed it. Okay, so don't worry about that. The next thing I will do is to come to my shadow, this shadow tool, and then I will enable it, and then I will reduce the blur let me just reduce the blur to 3 is okay, and then I'll click on the check mark, and then I'll come to stroke. I'll put it on white stroke. I think 2 is also better for this. Yes. So now you must know that you should have your own artwork. It should be ready now. You see, you see what you have here. Yeah. So this one is just overlapping over the real one. Okay. So what you are going to do next is to click on this texture. So click on texture, and then you go to where you save your artwork. Okay. One thing you should notice, if you want to use a portrait frame, then your picture should be portrait, and if you want to use a landscape frame, your picture should be landscape. So here's a portrait. Okay, and then you can decide to crop, maybe this is just the area you need, or you can decide to do it like this if you just need head and all. But that frame you downloaded should be what we make your artwork to be anyhow you want. So just make sure that the kind of frame you download is in alignment with the kind of picture you want to use. Okay, I'm going to make an example for that soon. So I'll click on this check mark. You see what happens, and then look at this enabled again. You see the scale is in 100, but click on this enabled, and then it will flip it to fill the shape we just drawn, and then you click on this check mark. Now look at this. Who could have thought that this was actually downloaded? Now before you export this, I want you to do some further edits to it. You see this thing that look like what do we call it now? This last 2 here, click on it, and then come to hue. Okay, you can decide to change the color on the background. You see, you can decide to change it. It's all on you. And if you don't want to change it, you can simply come to saturation and increase the saturation. Okay, why am I doing this? Because my own image is actually saturated, so I have to add more saturation to the frame. And then I'll click on check mark, and then if I want, I can just easily put a text on it to signify that I am actually the one who has this frame. Okay, some graphics. Yeah, so I can decide to also change the font, or instead of doing all of that, you can easily import your own logo. Okay, you can import your logo and then you put it on it, and then everything is fine. Yes, I think I like this font, so Tsam graphics, and then I'll just increase it a little, and then I think I am good to go. And even anywhere I want to put it, if it's not showing what I want it to display, I'll just put it on stroke. You can see this. Yeah, I can decide to put it anywhere. I can decide to put it here. I can even decide to make it be by the side. You understand? So, but I wouldn't do all of that. So you can just put it anywhere. You can even put it on the picture. Just make sure it's looking good. Or even on this, you can decide to just toggle around. You also have texture. You can put it on texture, and then you import any other thing you want to import. Hope you understand that. Yeah. So, and you can also put it on perspective for the text. So let us zoom and let us see what I'm trying to say. So I'll drag this. I want to allow it to be on the edges. Let's see. Then let's click on enabled. Okay, and then we click on the check mark. So you can see what it has transformed some graphics to be. So it will be as if it is also in this frame. Hope you understand that, guys. But I will not need that, and then I can just decide to export this because I already have my logo on the picture. Okay, so I'll click on export, and then always export as ultra for this kind of thing, and then click on save to gallery, and then it will definitely save. So I said something the other time that the frame determines the kind of picture you put on them, or I should rather say a picture determines the kind of frame you download. Okay, so I don't need to download any other thing. I can just decide to continue toggling with the hue and saturation. Okay, or if I want another style, I can just go online and download. Okay, so let's import another picture for this. We are going to texture, and then I'll click on this gallery. Like this picture, I click on check mark, look at what it imports, and then I click on enable. Here, look at how the picture become straight at once. So all of these things will not actually be meaningful. You understand? So the best thing that I could do for this kind of picture is to download a frame that is also landscape, and then if I import it, it will just flip everything and then it will be okay. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to start seeing your frame soon. Goodbye.